Hey guys, it's Dimes and welcome back to my channel. Excuse my voice, I have a bit of a cold. Not that it sounds that much better when I don't have a cold, but you know, disclaimers are good. It means that I can try less hard. So today I'm going to be bringing you a speed build inspired by the Sims 4 Seasons, which just dropped yesterday. And it's going to be a craftsman. That's a really hard word to say. Maybe it's just me. It's a craftsman style house, which is a style that's pretty popular in America. Kind of woodsy, outdoorsy. Not really cabiny, but you know. And yeah, let's do this. Let's build this, guys. I'll build it. I already did build it, but now we can watch it together. It's an adventure. Not a great adventure, but an adventure. So here I am figuring out the frame. Now I wanted to put like something sticking out here to have a little nook, but it wasn't quite working out for me, so I gave up. Then I decided to put like a gable forward. That didn't work out. So just bear with me. The thing I wanted to do there didn't quite work out for me. I'm not the best. I still kept trying though. And that's you know, that's what we like. Just keep trying until we fail miserably over and over. So eventually I just settled on this little outcropping. And I think it looks different. I liked it. Gave it a bit more character on the side there. Here we go. Now, deciding windows is always hard as well. I'm still deciding on the roof, it seems. Oh, roof trim. Roof trims are great. There is one thing that I love about building in The Sims 4. And it's all the little trims and things. Even though the room tool is a pretty tricky tool to use. And sometimes I forget how I build things myself. Like, I will build something that I think looks great, and then I'll forget how I did that, or how I applied certain trims. So yeah. So obviously we're going to be using Sims 4 Seasons stuff where applicable. I definitely like things to match, but I didn't want to make it too samey because then it can get kind of boring. So I did change around. For example, the shingles here from Cats and Dogs. So here we are going through the windows. I actually really like the windows. That's a great window as well. Shutters are always cute. Here I had to extend that room because 2 shutters didn't quite fit in the middle of the wall. More windows. This is gonna be me saying windows a lot, so I suppose get used to that. I guess all speed builds are kind of like this. So yeah, once I've got the basic frame, essentially I just have to start picking out what I want to do. First I went with this kind of brown color. I actually kind of like the cream wooden, I want to say slats, but that's not the right word. For somebody that builds a lot in The Sims, I do seem to forget terms of everything. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I need to get that looked into. I'm not really sure. The siding, that's the word, siding. So the cream siding was quite good. I decided to go in the end with brown and with a shingle top. But then I do change it in the very end. I don't think I have that on this. I thought brown looked pretty good. So I did do that trim in a different trim and a different color than the other trim. Here I've got a little porch. I think the house is looking not too shabby. That there is... Oh, see, here I am messing around with the corbell for a really long time. I give up, but I never really know how to use them. I kind of do, but it's always so hard to place and they never quite look as good on my builds as other people's builds, so I tend to just ignore the little accessories. At this point in time, I extended the trim so that it came out, but then I changed my mind on that. Oh, and there's the new Craftsman style fences that came with season. They're really nice. I do like those. And obviously, again, most of the things I'm picking come with seasons. Here I wanted to put something, but I also didn't want to raise the roof. See what I did there? Raise the roof. But so I put I cheated and I put a little thing from Get Together there, little sticking out little thingy. I know all the terms, guys. Thingy, this thingy, window thingy. I'm great. So again, playing with windows, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, I'm not gonna lie. And you can see me messing around with those tiny windows, which I really liked that style window. It just was not working out for me. Eventually I settled on that window and I think it looks pretty good. Then I had to struggle with what I wanted to do on the other area. Now the house is starting to come together. I actually really liked that round window, but I didn't pick it because I wanted everything to have a kind of square theme, you know. And I do rely on that half moon window from Cats and Dogs quite a lot. I use it on everything. So I tried not to. Now what am I doing? Oh, that's right. I didn't know how to trim. There is a way, I've done it before. You can trim the roof, the peaked roof. You can add a little line across it. I have done it before and didn't really work out for me on this build, and because I was lazy and I wanted to get this out, I didn't mess around with the room tool to try and get it to work, so I just stopped. Doing the back windows, like a lot of Craftsman houses, it does have the brick facade, which I love. The bricks that come with this bricks, it's really stones. It's stones dimes. Now I'm doing a back porch, but yeah, the stones that come with Sims 4 Seasons are pretty great. Like, I'm a real stickler for again, messing with the core ball. I hadn't given up. I'm a persistent one, and until I do give up, and then, oh well, I can't do it, so too bad. Anyways, back to the stones. This is a very interesting conversation about stones in Sims 4, okay? So bear with me. I really like feature stones in this game. There's some really, really good ones that Maxis has done themselves. Bowling Night has, in my opinion, some of the best stones. Here I was messing with the roof tool. I change roof almost 100 times and then I go back to what I had before. And sometimes that's just what happens. That's just what happens when you build. You don't know. It's a mystery, you know? Here I was trying to match that kind of yellowy wood and I couldn't. And so I decided to change. I really liked the yellowy kind of non-matchy wood. You know, that's something great about Sims 4. I know that in Sims 3 you had the creator style tool, which meant you could match pretty much any wood with anything. And that was great. But it did make things, at least when I built in The Sims 3, everything was kind of matchy and samey. And I used that tool, I used that tool a lot, like probably overused it. And looking back at some of my builds from Sims 3, I think they were kind of boring. Whereas, I never thought I would say this because I loved the creator style tool. It was my baby. But in Sims 4 you can't use it because they don't have it. And so you're kind of forced to use the Maxis colors. And that's kind of a good thing because, I mean, they do try and match. That's the good thing about the Maxis objects. They definitely do try and match everything together, and kind of you reuse the same kind of wood tones and stuff, which is good. But there's also some wood tones that are kind of like off, and sometimes that looks better. You know, sometimes you need that yellow trim, or you need that, like, you need it. Sometimes you need it. So here we are. Now I'm going to do some landscaping. I think that, I'm not sure, but I feel like landscaping maybe is my least favorite thing. I don't mind it, but this is basically it. This is basically the house. Again, I'm going to stop before I decorate it because I only have the actual exterior done. I actually don't know how I'm going to lay out the house inside, which is something that happens to me often. I will do an exterior and not think about the inside at all, and then I have to squeeze the kitchen in a tiny space, but we'll see what happens there. So before I lost my train of thought, I was talking about the wood, the walls, the stone walls, and yes, I really love the stone walls that come with seasons. Look, I'm passionate about this. Obviously I've brought it up like 3 times, and I will get this sentiment out. So Bowling Night had an amazing stone wall, and I feel like it's a feature that needs to be used more often, and I'm super happy that Seasons has it. So that means, because obviously Craftsman style homes use a stone and wood a lot. And we've got the little flower station, which sometimes I will put things out because I just, like, I want to use them, but then I can't find them in the catalog. This happens to me a lot. Maybe it's just me. Does it happen to you guys as well? I will not find what I'm looking for in the catalog. I don't remember what it's called. I'll scroll through all the areas and pretty much it will take me an hour to find the items. So sometimes when I come across something, I will just, lay it out there and then add it back later. I didn't make a greenhouse, which I kind of regret, because Seasons does come with some great transparent roofs and walls now, which is great. I'm excited to use that, but I may make another style home. Excuse me. I may make another Seasons home and try and incorporate a greenhouse, maybe a starter house. The starter house or the greenhouse. I don't know if I can do that. We'll see. That's another thing I don't like doing in this game is tree placement. Now, you'll see me going to the gallery a lot. I do this because it gives me a good, like, top down, that's not the right term, forward facade, the facade of the house. I can see it a bit better when I check. So I can have a look at if it looks good in the thumbnail, or things like that, or if it's evenly, if the trees make it look even. I'm kind of big on symmetry in a roundabout way. Excuse me. And it was difficult to find the perfect tree to put here. I don't recommend necessarily playing this game if you're a perfectionist. It can get very time consuming, but I was undecided about the balconies there. I do like them, I kept them, but I was undecided as to whether to do different colors or not, and the door bothered me as well, like the white. I wasn't sure about that, so I do mess around with that quite a lot, so bear with me. It's just me going through colors. Although now I'm doing some gardening. I do like the gardening. Obviously I have move objects on, which is why I can place everything everywhere. Often when I do landscape gardening in the game, I try and match the colors, so I'll go for a theme. In this one I didn't so much. I had purple flowers and yellow flowers. I feel like that kind of works with this kind of house. I was going to use vines or flower boxes. I gave up. I decided not to do that at all. This, I struggled. I really liked that plant from the little You don't see it now. I got rid of it, but I'll bring it back later. I really liked it and I had no idea where to put it. This one. You can see me struggling to... I want to keep it on the build because I think it's really nice, but it's quite a big plant and it just didn't look right everywhere I was dropping it. So it's like an endeavor to find somewhere I can put it. And finally I settled on that. I had to drop with a level to set it because it kept trying to snap to the side of the porch. Again, I'm using pretty much all Sims 4 season stuff. Not everything, again. Some of it is, I'm a big fan of Get Together. I think the expansion gameplay itself isn't great, let's be honest. But some of the objects in that one are amazing, so it's makes up for that just in that. To be fair, a lot of the major expansions are really good. And here we are. Here I was trying to put a kind of accent on the... I'm not sure what I was trying to do, but this is what I've done. Sometimes you just have to go with it. See where inspiration leads. Sometimes it leads somewhere that doesn't make any sense, and that will probably happen very frequently on this channel. Excuse me, again, I've got a cold, so... This is, in an effort to get this video out as soon as I can. I am just going for it. You can just bear with me, guys. Definitely need move objects on for this. It just does not work otherwise. I'm a big fan of putting things under trees, as you can tell. There's some of the seasons, new seasons. I was gonna say clothes. I know all the things. I know what clothes are. Objects. Here's some furniture. New furniture. I know the words, guys. So yes, I wanted to do a nice little outdoor set. The interior, which I will be doing in part 2. I definitely want to try and use seasons stuff where I can. I don't love all the interior objects in seasons, but it's good. It's a challenge. You know, sometimes you need to see where things go. This is me messing around with the porch fence. I was undecided as to whether I wanted one or not, but I felt like it looked a little bare without it. So eventually I do add one. Again, if you see like how I've added that yellow trim there, I think I've kept that. I just like that contrasting wood color. It's good. The new rugs, I'm pretty disappointed with the rugs from Seasons. They're a little bit gaudy and they're very hard to match, so I had to go to my old favorite, which is the kind of raffia coloured, straw coloured one. I think that's almost it, guys. Then I was going to put... I missed some from Sims 3, how you could put the outdoor lights on the actual fence posts. They need to bring that back. And here's some outdoor lighting. I had, yes, I did put a light on a window. And I'm not ashamed of that because that's the height I wanted it to be. And the window was in the way and I did try getting rid of the window. It didn't look good, so that's just the way things are, guys. And cute little pumpkins. There is something I did forget, and that is the most boring of all things, terrain texture. I said I hated landscaping, but that's not true. I don't mind landscaping. It is a little bit tedious, but terrain texturing is probably the most boring. It's like photoshopping the floor in all the boringest colours that there are. I mean, green's nice, but dirt brown, not so great. So yeah, I'm sure it's riveting for you guys to watch though. I mean, I'm excited by it. So, but it's always, you need to add it. You have to have it. You know, it adds a depth to the terrain that otherwise kind of lacks. So you can't really skip it if you want your builds to look, I don't want to say good, but decent, at least in my case, you know. Here I was undecided about what to do with the front. I think that's what gets me about landscaping the front, or gardening in The Sims, or not the actual gardening skill, because there is a gardening skill, but what I'm doing here essentially, it's tough to figure out. Like, you really need to get a mindset of how you want things to be decorated and where you want things to go, and I think it's just a little bit time consuming, that's all. I have never used those sunflowers before, so I was pretty excited to use them in this build, because I feel like it does really go with this kind of look. I do wish they had the textures that the actual lots come with as textures in the, I mean, I know you can erase your textures as your terrain painting, but it would be nice if you could just pick, because some of the textures, especially I can't remember what neighborhood it is, but there's some nice grass textures that they don't really give you for in the terrain tool. Give you for. That made no sense. You guys know what I mean. You're still here. You're still listening. So you must be at least semi-entertained, I hope. So yeah, here I changed the porch. Very obvious. I'll just point out the obvious. Here I changed wall coloring. Here I changed the door. I really struggled with this door. Nobody should struggle with a color of a door as much as I struggled with this. I really wanted it to be like a white door, but I just felt like it didn't quite look right, so I just changed it over and over. So essentially this is me just saying it doesn't quite do it for me. It doesn't quite look as good as I hoped in the thumbnail. You know, curb appeal. Curb appeal is important, guys. That's how you sell your houses. So then I said, you know what, that looks fine. And I gave up. But I did change the siding after this, and I don't think I have that on the video, unfortunately. But just imagine more of the same. And that's it. That's my build. Now I'm going to go through some of the shots that I've made. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope to catch you guys next time. I hope you liked my build. Bye, guys.